Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, reaching you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. President Muhammad Buhari has asked Nigerians to avoid reckless statements and actions against one another. Police authorities deploy massive personnel across the country ahead of the Eid celebrations to forestall any breakdown of law and order. House of Representatives describes Minister of Works Babatunde Fashola's comments on Budget 2017 as an attempt to blackmail the National Assembly. And over 120 people are missing and 15 bodies have so far been recovered after a landslide in Sichuan province in southwestern China. For more on our top stories and others, please visit our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Log on to m.channelstv.com to watch us on your mobile device or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 apps will give you access to news and updates. You'll also have access to the Eyewitness features, with which you can share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app. Then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. And here are pictures you sent in. Let's begin with this one from Bonny Camp. That will be the Bonny Camp Bridge on Lagos Island, the Lagos state capital. It is showing a man, our Eyewitness reporter says, is the staff of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority doing a temporary fixing of a bad portion of the road. Incorrigible. Well, our next photo is from Magboro area in Ogun State, showing electricity cables which our Eyewitness reporter says have not had light for more than 5 years now. He wants men of the Ibadan electricity distribution company to do something urgently, as the situation has made many residents to relocate. And from Osogbo-Ofa Road in Osun State comes this picture showing a bridge already caving in. Our Eyewitness reporter is raising concerns that this is danger in the waiting and wants something done urgently. And this next image is from East-West Road in Eleme area of River State, showing the bad shape of the road there. Our Eyewitness reporter is calling on relevant authorities to do something about this, as it brings untold hardship to motorists. Our final image is from Buruchu in Delta State, showing a bridge our witness calls Egbo Ede Bridge. He alleges this project has been abandoned for some time now and pleads with the state government to complete it. We do sincerely thank you for sending in those pictures, and please note that you too can report events as they happen around you. The father of suspected kidnapper Chukwu Dumeje Onwamadike, known as Evans, has been reacting to his son's arrest. Channels Television caught up with Mr. Stephen Onwamadike in his hometown in Anambra State. He told our correspondent that he has not had any form of communication with Evans for many years, especially after Evans' mother moved out of his house.
Mr. Stephen Onwamadike is a native of Akamili Umudim in Nnewi, Anambra State. He lives here, a house he says he built between 1982 and 1984 when he was still active in business.
I was duped at Port Harcourt with 368,000 by then.
He now earns a living through animal husbandry. His 11 children, the first of whom is Chukwu Dumeje Onwamadike, known more as Evans, grew up here in a relatively comfortable atmosphere. Mr. Onwamadike says his first wife, who is Evans's mother, packed out of the house after a disagreement. In spite of this, he says Evans and his other children were given adequate attention.
My daughter and him get a reasonable pass. I know I have to put them at about girls, my daughter, himself, about boys. After 3 years, I had to take that Evans to principal, so that principal will monitor him very, very well. Although, may he solace in perfect peace, the principal has gone. If the principal is, he will still tell me that what I'm talking is true. So Evans said that he will not continue.
After dropping out of school, he says he lost touch with his son Evans.
I don't have his phone number. It's only the mother is controlling him.
This is the first picture Mr. Onwamadike sees of his son Evans years after. He was apprehended at his residence in Magodo, Lagos, which he says he bought for 130 million naira in 2016. Before moving here, he says he lived in a similar house on Emmanuel Keshi Street in the same area, which is presently occupied by tenants. He's also said to own 2 houses in Ghana, which he bought for 15 million naira each. Neighbors watch in awe and disbelief, and some even deny knowledge of him.
We know the neighbor. We are not his neighbors. This is Mr.
The story of Evans seems to be regenerating and presenting various angles of discussion on various fronts. Legal practitioner Emeka Uchebunam calls for caution.
That the social media hype, you arrest a criminal, you are parading him already, you have already concluded that the man is a kidnapper. It is possible he is, from all the confessions he has made. But immediately the police arrested the man, the police have already passed judgment.
Hype that is generating, especially in the social media, and the police, Nigerian police don't control the media anyway, and you can attest to that. And this is an era where everybody's a journalist. Anybody can just pick up phone, put somebody's picture on it, send a message, and send it across. I want members of the public to know that Nigerian police force is very, very professional.
And now, Nigerians will watch to see what turn the story of Evans will take next.
On Friday, June the 9th, constituents of Kogi West in Kogi State, north central of Nigeria, began a process to recall the lawmaker representing them at the Red Chamber, Senator Dino Melaye. About 2 weeks after, the constituents say they have generated more than the requirements and the percentage of signatures, an exercise the lawmaker Dino Melaye describes as a hoax. In this next report, we take a look at the attempts by the Kogi West electorate to recall their senator and the unfolding developments.
The process to recall Senator Dino Melaye by electorate from Kogi West Senatorial District began on Friday, June the 9th. The reasons for the recall of the lawmaker, some of the aggrieved constituents say, is based on non-performance.
He has not brought home dividends of democracy. We have his co-senators in Kogi State, where we have Senator Gembe. He just got his mandate from Tribuna, and when he got it just in 1 year, he has empowered all his constituency. He has done a lot of youth empowerment projects, where we have our senator who has been there for almost for over 2 years now, and no impact. Instead of him to come and develop his people in every other means he has capacity to do, instead he will be in the National Assembly shouting, making noise.
And in less than 2 weeks, more than 188,000 signatures have been allegedly generated from the 7 local government areas which make up the senatorial district. But in his reaction, Mr. Melaye describes the exercise as a comedy of errors. In his comment on Twitter, he says, quote, "It cannot succeed. It is a hoax, an absolute comedy of errors. This comedy of errors will soon end. No shaking at all." End of quote. The constituents, however, say they will not be deterred as they go to INEC's office to submit the signatures in 6 bags.
We are here this afternoon to deliver the message of our people as regards the move to recall the senator representing our central district, distinguished Senator Dino Melaye. We took some documents inside. The Constitution requires that we should submit a petition backed up with above 50% of the number of registered voters. The collection of the signatures has been done, and that is why those are the signatures, those are the documents and the bags you saw us taken in, and then accompanied with a petition.
The Independent National Electoral Commission acknowledges receipt of the petition and has conveyed a letter notifying Senator Melaye of same. The electoral body also promises to issue a public notice stating the day or days, time, location and other details of the verification exercise on July the 3rd, 2017. But now the chairman of the Senate Committee on the Federal Capital Territory, Senator Dino Melaye, has sued the electoral umpire, asking for a fair hearing before the process of his recall can be triggered, claiming that some of the signatures are fictitious. Many Nigerians will no doubt be interested in seeing the outcome of this process.
Well, Mr. Ezenwa Nwagu, Executive Director of Partners for Electoral Reforms, joins me on the news at 10. We do appreciate your being there. Have you seen this level of momentum in an attempt to recall a serving senator?
Thank you for having me. I think the possible other time that has happened was quite a long time in Jigawa State, where a serving House of Rep member was going to be recalled, and there was also an unsuccessful attempt sometime also in Benue. But what's important for this is that there seems to be a lot of activity around ensuring that the section of the Constitution that empowers citizens to recall their representatives is being kicked into effect. And it's important for democracy that those who represent citizens can understand and must be made to understand that the power resides in the citizens, and that the office of the citizen is the most powerful and most important office. So it's there in the Constitution. It is not put there for a joke. It is meant to enhance good governance. It is meant to further push off impunity and arrogance. And once those in power understand that that power resides with the citizens, I think they would want to behave themselves more responsibly.
Now, INEC has received the notification for this recall and are at the verification stage, as we understand by this time. Run us through the process. Is it cumbersome or is it easy?
No, it's pretty difficult. 50+1% of registered voters in that constituency will have to sign up for the petition to recall. To be able to garner that, it takes a lot of resources. So what that means is that there has to be a lot of strong determination by the citizens. Sometimes there could be extraneous interests that may mobilize that. But whatever those interests are, what is important is that it's a constitutional requirement. And in this particular case of Kogi West, we are seeing a situation in which it looks as if the citizens in that constituency have met that constitutional requirement. It is not going to be for the senator to determine whether those are fictitious. In one breath, he says they are fictitious. In another breath, he says they are not people from his constituency. It is the responsibility of INEC to verify, and that would, two things will happen from there. He could eventually come victorious. He could also be recalled. But what's important is that we must understand the power of the citizen in a democracy, and that is what is being tested at this point.
Senator,
it sends a...
My apologies, permit me to just butt in here. Senator Melaye has sought an injunction against INEC from carrying out this verification. How do you see these playing out?
I think his rushing to court is unripe. I saw the grounds for
for which he's asking the court to intervene. And that is the bigger problem for Nigeria, that at every point in time that we want to have the opportunity to test the power of the citizens, we see a recourse to wanting the judiciary to meddle. And in this particular case, I think it is unripe. I think it is not okay at this point. He should have waited for INEC to verify. If INEC says those people are fictitious, that will be victory for him. If they say, okay, they are authentic and that there's a need to proceed to the next stage, that will be it. So it is hasty, it is panicky, and does not help the cause of testing this constitutional provision, in my view, in rushing to court. But whichever way it ends, what is important is that there is a notice that has been served to people in office that the power does not reside with them, that it resides with the citizens. Mr. Ezenwa Nwago, the Executive Director, Partners for Electoral Reforms, I want to thank you so much indeed for talking to us here on the News at 10. When the News at 10 returns, LG Electronics introduces a new model of washing machine into the Nigerian market. Join us again.